guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, back again with another edition of TNA Making an Impact. It is finally upon us, TNA Lockdown 2017, so a massive pay-per-view here. Pretty much guaranteed already to address the biggest crowd, probably in TNA's history, never mind the Saves history, and for this momentous occasion we are going to be in the All-State Arena as we try to capitalise on as much of this as possible to draw the biggest gate, to get as much money as possible, and to push this company on to national level. 18 segments today because we have a few long matches due to the magnitude of importance of them. We didn't really add too many extra matches than was initially planned, but as always I'll explain the situation with certain things as we go along. So here it is, TNA Making Impact, TNA Lockdown, let's run the show. So we have turned out with 15,187 at the All-State Arena, our largest one yet. We start off, as I always do with all my episodes that are pay-per-views, with a hype video documenting all our major feuds going forward. This is of course the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match between Fergal Devitt, the champion, and the number one contender, the ever dangerous Bram. We then have a little hype between the two 50% owners that have been arguing like nothing else to bring us this 5v5 lethal lockdown matchup, which is of course the face, authority figure Brandy Reynolds, and the heel, Carly, and the two captains, you could say, the two leaders of this generation, Chris Jericho for the good guys, and the phenomenal AJ Styles for the bad guys. So a C60 promo here. Show got off to a strong start, it got the crowd hotter, and the Y2AJ storyline has advanced, but lost a little bit of heat. No negatives as we kick off, which should be a blockbuster show. So we start off with X Division action, and in a poor match, Arhennis defeated Sami Callihan, who stepped up to the plate in 10 minutes and 24 by pinfall with an Asai moonsault. Arhennis makes defence number 3 of the TNA X Division Championship. Nice easy win for him, a D47 because he was off his game, and because him and Sami Callihan didn't click, so it made it a bit of an awkward bout due to the clash of styles. The announcing did help the match, Callihan with 38, Arhennis with a 47. There were no skill improvements in this one in the dirt sheet. A few negatives there, but it's an okay start to the show, and hopefully things can only get better. Next up we have Britannia Knight, who is with the bizarre individual that is Rosemary. And basically in this segment, Britannia Knight has not been cleared to compete in the 5-on-5 women's matchup. She's suffering an injury, which I'll be honest I completely forgot about, so we had to write that into a storyline. Rosemary will take her place in this big 5-on-5 match, and this is just to confirm that and storyline purposes. A C-57 segment, which got the crowd a little bit hotter. No skill improvements, and negatives, the poor momentum that Rosemary is on at the moment. Next up we had the TNA Tag Team Championships on the line, and it was a decent matchup. It saw the team of Phoenix and Rey Mysterio defeat Abyss and Crazy Steve, the Decay, in 12-14 when Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated Crazy Steve by pinfall, a 619 into a flying splash. Phoenix and Rey Mysterio win the TNA World Tag Team Champions, so I felt it was a good chance to give a new fresh team a chance for the titles. Rey Mysterio is obviously still over, and it keeps his name value high, and it allows us to push his potential successor down the line in Phoenix. A C+69 is a good result here, with Phoenix off his game. Rosemary out with the Decay did some good work at ringside. Rey Mysterio with a 68, Phoenix with a 44, Crazy Steve 52, and Abyss with a solid 71 performance. There were no skill improvements on this instance. All we've done here is build a new star in Phoenix and a few negatives, as to be expected. And after this we just have Rey Mysterio and Phoenix celebrate with the fans as they've become the new Tag Team Champions. So D45 for that. As I say, we'll need to try and build up the overness of Phoenix. Next up we have a segment backstage where, obviously without Rosemary, we have the 4 other heel knockouts just talking amongst each other, really just discussing a game plan for this big matchup. The knockouts in question are Madison Rayne, Amanda, Sienna, and Tanya. So D44 the heel knockouts here as they look to put a game plan together to win the big battle of the knockouts. The matchup itself was a poor matchup, and it had the team of Ali, Gail Kim, Jade, Kellyanne English, and Liviana defeating the team of Sienna, Madison Rain, Amanda, Tanya, and Rosemary in 1409 when Ali defeated Rosemary by pinfall, the sit-out facebuster. A good win for the faces, putting them over in this instance. A D plus 50 was the result of this, so okay, still have to build them up a good little bit. We had Jade not suited to her gimmick, Liviana with a 33 performance, 35 for Kellyanne English, a 50 for Jade, 52 Gail Kim, 40 Ali, so she's improving, a 51 Rosemary, 24 for Amanda, 46 Madison Rain, 41 Tanya, and a 51 for Sienna. And the TNA storyline for the knockouts continues, but has lost heat. We'll probably filter the division into a few different matchups now as we have passed this pay-per-view. Performance skills increased for Madison Rain and Liviana, Ali with Rumble, and Rosemary with Technical. Few negatives, a lot of ladies holding back, so we're thinking this could have possibly reached the C- if the ladies didn't hold back here, but still happy with that as we build hopefully a very competitive division going forward. Next up, we've got Jeff Hardy walking backstage, and he's grabbed by a mystery attacker and he's dragged into a car. The car then speeds off. Jeff Hardy is gone. Will he compete tonight? And basically, when I went to put the match together for the 5-on-5 lethal lockdown, Jeff Hardy refused to take part due to this would probably injure him, so I had to write him off TV and have him replaced. So we'll see who replaces Jeff Hardy, and we'll see what the aftermath of this attack leads to for him. Next up, we had a bout for the number one contendership for the Tag Team Championships. It was a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it saw the team of the Miracle, Mike Bennett, the Machine, Brian Cage, defeat the American Rules, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards in 13-31, and Mike Bennett defeated Eddie Edwards by pinfall with a photo finish. A B80, a very strong matchup here. Happy with that. This is with Mike Bennett off his game. Excellent chemistry tagging together between Machine and Mike Bennett. 76 for Eddie Edwards, a 79 Davey Richards, 60 for Brian Cage, and a 69 for the Miracle Mike Bennett. Continues the storyline, although they'll probably branch out into different storylines now to continue this push with the Miracle and the Machine, and Bennett improves Rumble skills. Negatives, just the inconsistency level of Mike Bennett and the chemistry, motivation of Brian Cage. And Brian Cage has got a new spot that got great heel heat, and this helps his psychology. So excellent. Next up, we've got Brandi Runnels just stressing out backstage, really just thinking who is going to replace Jeff Hardy in this main event matchup. She's on the phone, she gets a hold of someone, and they've agreed, and she finishes the segment with a big smile on her face, as she has Jeff Hardy's replacement. Who this is, we'll find out later in the show. So it's a C-55. Next up, we had the National Championship on the line, and it was a bout between Shibata and Ricochet. It had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it saw Shibata defeat Ricochet in 13:59 by pinfall. Shibata makes the 8th defense of his TNA National Championship. Solid B80 here. Ricochet with a 59 performance, Shibata with a 78, so a good matchup. No skill improvements here, but I can't argue with that. Both workers going all out, struggling a bit with stamina, and Ricochet not dealing with the pressure, but a B80 for one of our main matches. I can't really complain. Next up, we have our co-main event about to happen, the Lethal Lockdown match, and Chris Jericho hypes up the match, just saying, you know, he came here to become a champion. AJ Styles coming here, running his mouth, thinking he's going to be the next champion, but he's going to show Chris Jericho is that level above AJ Styles, and the AJ Styles is past it. The storyline continues and gains heat. Jericho's performance was fantastic, as we expect from Chris, and probably AJ made the list. Let's see how the matchup does. Next up, the surprise entrant joining Team Brandi Runnels. Joining the faces was a spectacular over-the-top entrance by Bobby Roode. So Bobby Roode has came back, as we all know, and he has joined the faces in this instance, making up the numbers. And only getting a C minus 56 is disappointing. But let's see how the matchup goes. Not horrible, could have been a bit better, but in about the had good heat and decent wrestling. It was AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Stu Barrett, and the Young Bucks defeating the team of Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, Drew Galloway, Bobby Roode, and Bobby Lashley in a Cage Wars matchup 23-23 when AJ Styles defeated Drew Galloway by submission. C plus 68 is okay, could have been a bit better, I was hoping it would succeed. But Jericho and Matt Jackson were off of their games, Adam Cole was slowed down by injury, and AJ is getting better at his gimmick. Performance-wise, a 70 for Bobby Lashley, 73 Bobby Roode, 68 Drew Galloway, 74 Chris Jericho, and a 64 for Adam Cole. Matt and Nick, quite disappointing there, 52 and 48 for them, 67 for Stu Barrett, 56 Kenny Omega, and a 64 for AJ Styles. Could the type of matchup affected this? But 3 storylines advance and the BC storyline gained heat. Roode and Lashley improving performance skills and rumble skills respectively, and a lot of inconsistencies and morale issues in there, declining physical ability as well. Let's see, was it the type of matchup that maybe affected it? Yep, so because it was an Pearl type match, Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, it's going to be everyone I think, yep. Well, mostly all of them were unhappy at that, but it's the type of pay-per-view, so you have to run with it. Next up, a video plays hyping up Fergal Devitt versus Bram. B minus 74, we all know the feud here. Bram, on a roll, wants to become a champion. Devitt has been everyone that's put in front of him, but Bram feels it's his time to become champion. And the main event match, will it deliver? After a promo from Devitt, A92, so he's just knocking it out of the park recently. Just says, you know, he's here to take TNA to new levels and he's going to prove just how damn good he is. I'm nervous here. I want this to try and score. I would love it to get in the 90s, but I hope it'll be 80s. Anything lower, I'll be quite disappointed. Oh, I'm actually quite disappointed by that. An exceptional matchup. It's good to see. Devitt does defeat Bram in 25:06 by pinfall with Shingata's Prince's Throne. He makes the 6th defence of the TNA World Heavyweight title. B minus 75. I did not expect that. Is it maybe because there isn't a storyline in place because it's a short programme? Possibly, but the match deserved better colour commentary. 86 for Devitt, 74 for Bram. No skill improvements, and nope, poor commentary. Poor colour commentary was the only negative there. And we end the show. Devitt is the champ. Why not plan seeds for a future feud with AJ Styles coming down and beating up Fergal Devitt, and he is signalling his claim that he wants to be the next #1 contender. So B plus 88 there. AJ Styles attacks Fergal Devitt. Where do we go from here? Well, first we click end show. The show increases pop in all 19 regions, so we continue to knock it out of the park with that B79. The whole of the UK, Canada and the US get improvements. Could have been a bit better, possibly, but I feel like we're on a good roll in towards national, and I think we'll give good performances in this one to, do you know, let's go Shibata, Ricochet and Brian Cage. They certainly surprised us. 3 great performances there. We'll praise them all to the moon. And Shibata, Ricochet and Cage are all pleased. So I can't argue with it, you know, as long as we're making strides in terms of gaining pop every show, gaining importance every show, and making money. Can't really argue, to be honest. Let's have a look. Yep, struck gold with the show. Everything seems to be good there. A couple of shows struggling. New Japan are setting their sights, but overall, nothing really there to be negative about. And let's finish the show, or finish the episode near enough, signing on a 5-year deal of Becky Lynch. So Rebecca Knox, we'll try and find a name for her. I'm probably just going to call her Becky, if I'm honest. 14 days. So I'm going to leave that to you guys. If you've got a name for her, actually, Let me know what you think we should call her, so say that'll be a few episodes before she's actually in TNA. If you've got any TNA names for Becky Lynch, or if you'd just like her to be called Becky, let me know in the section below. So I'll look then. So our broadcasting deal with Bravo's got a month left, I'll fix that. Same with Sky Deutschland. Time to Heal, Ailey is struggling with the schedule. 0.48 on pay-per-view and 0.05 on television. 6K drug testing. Arhennis doesn't have it, according to Bobby Roode, and Phoenix has a fan in AJ Styles. Oh, I think Momentum did take a little bit of a drop there, down to 78, but Prestige 43, so maybe I think we might have been hampered in the national battles. Our level. Well, it wouldn't be national battle, sorry, it would be whatever level we're at. No, we don't seem to be in a battle with any other place. Well, as I say, we don't keep going, we'll keep trying to improve. As I say, we've got one at 65, we need to push those 60s and 59s up to that level as well, and get to national, and then push the likes of Canada, and then the UK, and then pushing on the rest of the world. But yeah, really interesting there, we did drop a little bit, but financially, made good money as well. Our most profit with nearly 800,000. Pay-per-view revenue is at its highest as well. We just need to keep pushing at that level, and as I say, hope that we can continue to improve the way we're going. I mean, we started with $1 million, now get 8.4. But it's a quick turnaround, it's 2 shows, and then our next pay-per-view is Sacrifice, and then we have the 4-week build from that to Slammiversary. So as always guys, thank you for watching. It's deeply appreciated. To say if you get any comments regarding the show, let me know what you felt about it. Any matches you felt were good, any potential feuds you'd like to see going down the road. Of course, if you get any potential names for Becky Lynch and TNA, let me know what you think as well. Just any general queries about TEW, let me know what you're thinking as well. Let us know how your saves are getting on as always. Always good for a bit of interaction. Say likes, shares, subscriptions, all that jazz are all deeply appreciated as well. If you do want to talk more about TEW, you can as well. You can tweet me at 21Maxwell. And there's also a lot of discussion at the moment going on the Grey Dog Software forums and on the Fantasy Bookers subreddit. You can always get a bit of chat there, a bit of a laugh there, get a bit of information, see other people's content, and yeah, it's just really good. It's a good educational tool for how this game works. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. It's deeply appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you next time as we are on the road now. TNA Sacrifice. Bye bye.